Welcome back, amazing kids. Hope you enjoyed our rhyme for today, 5 Little Dogs. And you enjoyed the story I read to you, right? You learned a lot. Now, my special guest on the show today is none other than the amazing Dr. Nimi Ekere. She's actually a fellow of the National Postgraduate Medical College of Family Physicians. She's a consultant, family physician, and she's a child advocate, author, of course, because I read her book, a speaker, and a humanitarian. Welcome! Now, I am so excited to have you on the show.
I'm happy to be here.
Oh, great. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for this wonderful book that I just read to my amazing kids. Now, tell me, we see so many storybooks. Yeah, there are people that write books, and then they teach different moral lessons. But I see that you've written several books. Amazing kids, she's written more than one book. This is another one. This is one for children, age 3, right?
2 to 7.
Age 2 to 7. This one is for teenagers, and this is for my young adults. Okay, and everything has the same message. They preach about sexual education. They preach against child violence, sexual violence. I don't even like to say the word and all of that. Yeah. But then, why is your focus that?
Okay, thank you for the question.
Yeah.
You know that society, there's a way we look at child sexual abuse or sexual abuse in general. Mm-hmm. People don't like to talk about it. They see it as a sacred thing. Yeah. And you tell parents to educate their children, and they're like, what do I tell them? And that's why I've written 4 books. So because it's individualized. What you tell a 2-year-old is not the same as what you tell a 10-year-old, and even the 10-year-old. The personality can differs. Different people have different personalities. Yes. So telling them, letting them know about their body, special body parts. I keep saying it's individualized, and you have to use languages that are relatable. So you're not going to use very strong words for a 2-year-old, and you're not going to use very mild words for a 10-year-old. You say it how they're supposed to comprehend it. And why did I go into this? I went into this because I saw a lot of children suffer as a result of child sexual abuse. Sexual abuse. I saw a lot of them go through traumatizing and agonizing issues, and some of them were scared to tell their parents. And I also noticed that parents didn't even know a lot about their children. Yeah. And you hear them say, I know my child, and when you get to the nitty-gritty, you find out that they do not know their child. They don't. So I decided to do this, and it's been amazing so far.
And one more thing is, I like the fact that you're really concerned on the ages. The stories in this book are really short and precise. Like, I just read one in 5 minutes, and this one is something that the teenagers can comprehend. And this is something that children, it has so many pictures, very colorful, so it's easy for them to learn. And you said you have another book for parents, but then I feel like everything still teaches parents a thing or two, right? And the amazing thing, I found out that they're actually incorporated in Lagos State school curriculum.
3 of them have been approved by the Lagos State government.
But have they started reading them in schools?
Well, yes, some schools have the books. I mean, it's on me to do a lot of marketing now. So you have to take them to schools and let the parents, the teachers, and the head teachers know the relevance, the importance.
I feel like it's very important because we cannot, no matter how we want to shy away because of our culture, we cannot totally run away from the topic sexual abuse.
And these things are here with us.
Because they are here with us. It's very important. Yeah. My amazing kids, I hope the words are simple for you to comprehend.
Yeah, we're going to make it as simple
as
possible.
Sexual abuse is when, how do I break this down for 3-year-olds that are actually listening?
When anybody, an adult or even an older child, tries to do anything that is not right. That is sexual. So even if an adult tells you, or a bigger child tells you, come and look at a bad picture on my phone, it's bad. It's sexual abuse. If an adult says, or an older child says, take off your pants, I want to see something, say no, it's sexual abuse. If they say dance to a bad music, a bad song that it's not nice, that sounds very different from what mommy and daddy have taught you, say no, I won't do that. That sounds like sexual abuse. So
my kids, see, let me say it in my voice so that you understand what Dr. Nimi is saying. If you're a girl and a man, an old man or an uncle or your even your brother that is older than you comes to you and starts touching you anyhow as a girl, touches your breast, touches your bum, shout,
or tells you to touch,
or tell him to stop it, or he tells you to touch their private parts, shout, tell him to stop it, call, alert everybody around, raise an alarm. You know how people used to shout, thief, thief, thief? Yes, shout that somebody is trying to harass you, because that is the only way. If you cannot help yourself, that's the easiest way to actually escape from
and
that.
And then tell them to their face, say,
tell them,
no,
my mommy said I should not do this. I will not do this.
I mean it. Because sometimes they will threaten you, they will tell you, they will give you chocolates, they will promise you, they will give you biscuits. You say no, I won't do it.
And it's not just the girl child, because I know so many young boys that been harassed right from when they're small. So as a young boy, one big auntie
or an uncle,
or even an uncle, starts touching your body parts anyhow, shout, tell him stop it. I don't like it. Do not let anybody touch you anyhow. Are you listening?
Do not touch anyone.
Do not touch anyone
or
anyhow.
See their special body parts.
It is very that's abuse. You tell them, stop. This is sexual abuse. Don't abuse me. I learned on the Amazing Kids show that this is sexual abuse. Don't abuse my body. Say it. Then they know that you know what you're saying. And please, even if you don't have a very fantastic communication with your parents
or guardians,
I think you should still try to open up to them, because the main people that will fight for you if there's anything wrong outside are your parents.
Parents should be
parents should also
more attentive.
Pay attention to your children. I say this every time. It starts from even discovering what they love to do. It starts from discovering their talent, and then to letting them talk. When your children want to talk, stop saying shut up. You talk. No, let them talk. Because if they don't talk at that stage, it's going to affect later on. Okay? We're still going to talk more about this thing. We have a whole 1 hour. But let's take a very quick break. I want you people to digest these things well. So we're taking breaks, so you sit down, reminisce on everything we've said. We come back and throw another bullet. Okay? Alright, amazing kids, do not go anywhere. I will be right back. Actually, it's even time for another story. And today's story is the wind and the sun. So listen to this story while you digest all we've just discussed. And when I come back, we'll open the phone lines so you can tell me all you've learned. Tell me if you've had any experiences. And talk to Dr. Nimi, basically. And tell me what you've learned from the story too. I'll be right back. Mwah.
Amazing Kids Show.
Welcome back, amazing kids. Now that was the story of the wind and the sun, and it just goes to show that gentle persuasion sometimes, in short most times, is actually better and more effective than force. You can't force people to do things always, and this goes to parents as well. You know, you can't train your children with so much force. Sometimes you have to be mild. You have to educate them, because they came into this world not knowing anything. So it is how you teach them what they learn from you that they have to like get used to, and then cultivate them, and they make them habits. You know, so don't just beat your child. Don't you know that it's supposed to be like, how will he know if you did not tell him? So sometimes we need to caution ourselves with the way we train our children, the way we correct them. When you make them feel at ease when they're with you, they'll be able to tell you anything. and it will even reduce the number or the percentage of sexually abused children that we have in the world, the country, and the world at large. Because I know that the major reason why children fall traps to these things is because they don't have their parents to talk to.
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
Yes, so even when you've taught them, know that they're children and they'll make mistakes. Yes. They will make mistakes. So in their mistakes, they need to be corrected. They need to be loved.
In love.
They need to be loved. You have to love your children. You have to listen to them. But when you're too critical, they will run away from you. And when a predator comes, they'll think that mommy and daddy both will judge me. Like, I know that some children have said, mommy is kinder, daddy is very cruel. Others will say, daddy
is wicked.
Others
mommy
will say,
is nice.
mommy and daddy are horrible. So when you're kind, you're patient, like Victory said, you're patient with your child, you know that they'll make mistakes. Adults will make mistakes, so why should children not make mistakes? So you take it easy on them.
I think today's show should be tagged the Amazing Parents Show, because we're actually talking to parents. But kids as well, though. Dr. Nimi, I know you have a foundation, the Smile and Child Children's Foundation. Smile and Shine, yes. Children's Foundation. What do you do for kids there?
Advocacy, we talk to them. I mean, like we're talking about it now, that parents should protect their children. Children should learn to set boundaries. Parents should teach children how to set boundaries. Parents, thank you. So parents should teach children how to set boundaries. I mean, like Victory said, rightly so, children don't know. There are things they don't know. So if you don't teach them, how do they know? NO and MM were taught by their parents, so they were loved, so the environment was so friendly, so they could tell their parents everything, anything and everything.
I even like the fact that you mentioned it. You stated those facts. Not like NO and MM just woke up one morning and they knew in their head, but you stated how the parents brought them closer to them. The father would travel and buy them knickknacks. You know what children love? They love chocolates. They love these things.
And this doesn't mean you're spoiling them.
If you give them these things, they will not be moved by what they see outside.
Truly.
That's
a smart
that's another thing, because Eno said, she wanted chocolates in the book. But then she remembered that, she always gets chocolates from her dad.
Yeah.
But if you deprive your children of, your child needs to take ice cream. You're like, no ice cream for you. No. Sometimes, even if you don't have the money to buy the big cup of ice cream, you can buy those small ones. This is Nigeria. Okay, I am in Lagos. And I know that there's some sachet yogurts that they sell for as little as 100 naira, 150. You can just buy it for them.
And it shouldn't be all the time, because you want to also teach them discipline. But once in a while, you should treat
But they
them.
won't get freaked when they won't get too enticed when they see these things outside. So when somebody's telling them, pull your pants, I want to give you chocolate, they'll be like, I don't want. Mommy bought chocolate for me in the house. There's chocolate in the fridge.
And as a father, can I speak to the fathers?
Yes, please.
When you love your children, especially your girl child, no outsider, no predator, no pedophile will show them love and make them get carried away, because they already have so much love, overwhelming love from their daddies. So parents have a lot to do to reaffirm, validate their children. So back to what you asked me, Smile and Shine Foundation, we are big on teaching parents, working with parents on how to take care of children.
Of their children.
I mean, it's not like we're teaching you how to. I mean,
they're just working with you.
Working with
That's
you
great.
to ensure that you do this thing effectively, and you teach them how to set boundaries. You teach them how to say no and mean it, and then we educate parents to know, because most parents are coming from the background of, I have to yell at my child because I was yelled at, my parents yelled at me. But we teach you that this is not the way, this is not the best. And then teach how, and then it's an interactive session, not like we're imposing this on parents. So we have parenting classes, and then we teach the children, sometimes we through plays, how to protect themselves, how to say no, and what predators look like, how they act, because sometimes they're normal, most times they're normal, most times they're in the house, you don't know.
Even your uncles, your brothers, even your brothers, because you didn't train them or you didn't give them the right education. Now let's even talk about you. I know there's this, it goes without a saying, no, I don't want to say it goes without a saying, I'll say it's a popular thinking. I don't want to say it goes without saying, because it's a popular thinking and impression that people have that people who go into advocating against sexual violence and all these things, you've had experiences. Have you had any experience?
Not necessarily. I just worked with children, and I still work with them, and I realized a lot of them were abused and couldn't tell their parents. I mean, it became so regular, and I felt I needed to do this thing because a lot of people few people are doing it, but a lot of people were just not going into that sector or that area. They felt it was too sacred, like I said. So somebody had to do it.
Yes,
and of course, who else but a doctor that sees people, sees children all the time. And then I have a lot of people that are very close to me open up. I've had them open up to me, say, Nimi, I was abused. Please don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. I was abused. I was, and it broke my heart. It keeps breaking my heart. So so we have to nip this in the bud. That's why I really decided to do this.
So you're a doctor. I know my kids are looking at, and so she's a doctor. Ask her this question. You're a doctor and you don't have just one book. You have 2, 3, 4 books.
Yeah.
So how do you manage it? Being a doctor, being a writer, is it that easy?
No.
How did you even decide to move from medicine to art?
I haven't moved. I'm still a doctor.
No, like you.
I know what you mean.
But then you just said, "Oh, let me manage both at the same time."
Yes.
We know that medical people
are very busy.
Their own is calculation. Surgery and all of that. And art, we're art. And even when we see kids doing this, we're like, okay, don't worry. When he grows up, he'll do something else. But then you're mature. You do both at the same time. How do you manage both?
It takes a lot of discipline, and that's what I want to tell kids today. You have to be disciplined, you have to be hardworking, and you have to be focused, and tell yourself you can do anything. As long as you have conceived it in your heart, on your mind, you can do it. It's achievable. So it was something I wanted to do. I've always wanted to write. I've always wanted to drop my thoughts in a book. So I decided to. It was overwhelming, but I was taking it one step at a time, sometimes one baby step at a time. And and then I compiled it and made my mistakes. And then last year, I must confess, I didn't work. COVID came and I was home, and I decided to just finish the project. And here we are today.
Great, fantastic. All right, amazing kids. The phone lines are open now. Please call in and tell me what you've learned on the show today. If you have any questions for Dr. Nimi, let me know. Hello.
Amazing Kids Show. Exclusive to Rhythm FM and Silverbirdtv.